Hi everybody, it's AG75's Dolls here. Well, we want to tell you about this very bad problem. Okay? Now, my mom wrote a speech about it because she had to write a speech for class, and so she decided to use this. She found it in a dog magazine, the Caesar magazines. You know, with the dog whisperer, Caesar? Yeah, he's really kind. He took like 50 dogs which were going to be put down to a shelter which don't put down dogs. Isn't that so kind? I think it's super kind. Now, sorry for the bad lighting, and another thing, sorry for what Rebecca's wearing. Yeah, I'm trying out a new look. You like? Personally, I don't. Ah! That's right. Mess with me, you get that. Anyway, so the speech is about animal shelters. Ha! Yeah, that's right. Animal shelters. So, me and Rebecca decided that every paragraph we're going to trade. Some paragraphs are really short, so we're going to keep going. But then we're going to trade. So, I hope you enjoyed the speech that my mom wrote. I hope you really like it. Now, we may cough during the speech because we have a sore throat. And we're trying to memorize the speech. This is like the third time we read it over. Well, not the third time, like the fifth time. But the third time we're doing it in front of a camera. It's just we keep getting interrupted. Because this is a one-taker. So, here we go. We hope you enjoy it. So, my mom's speech is about animal shelters. And I'm going to start. So, first I want to tell you the story of a dog named Target. She was a young stray dog, living in a pack with others in Afghanistan, near the American base. The pack of dogs were friendly, and the soldiers started to play with them when they had nothing to do during their spare time. After a few weeks, the dogs never left the surrounding of the base because they enjoyed their new human friends' company. Your turn, Lindsay. Right. Thanks. One night, the pack sensed an unfamiliar presence on the base. It was a bomber. They attacked the bomber, the pack of dogs. He was determined to kill as many soldiers as he could. The dogs made him panic, and he detonated his bomb outside of the base. Only one dog was killed. By saving the life of a few men, Target and the others that survived the attack earned themselves a ticket to America. The soldiers thought that they would have a better life in the big world. When Target arrived to America, she was invited to the Oprah show with the soldier that had adopted her. She became a star. The soldier hadn't yet microchipped or license tagged, which means give her collar with the owner's phone number. If you didn't know what that means, just saying it. One day, she slipped away from her new home, and she was picked up by a county animal control officer. 2 days later, Target was put down. She was a perfect and healthy, loving dog. One of the examples of all the perfect and healthy, loving dogs in shelters that are being put down. What's up with you, Mimsy? I'm just so sad! It's just so sad. Well, you better stop it, because it's your turn to read. Oh, it is? Okay. Okay, I'm ready. Target's death made headlines. And in her case, it should have. She was a war hero But what about the other dogs and cats and other animals? About 5 million are put down every year, some in inhumane ways. Can you imagine what that number is? It's about the entire human population of the city of Los Angeles. For the last 30 years, the number was declining. Declining means instead of going up, like more animals dying, like being put down, it's going down. Well, it was going down. But with the poor economic situation crisis in the U.S., the number is rising again. That's sad. The people have less money, so fewer dogs are adopted, which means overcrowded shelters, which is the worst. Since the shelters have less money also, they can only keep the dogs and cats for a short period of time. The sad fact is that half of the dogs or other animals brought to shelters will eventually be put down. That's sad. I know. Your turn. Okay. Some American families are losing their jobs, and they can't pay for their houses anymore. They have to move. Instead of trying to find a new home for their dogs or pets, or bringing them to a shelter, at least they would have a slight chance of being adopted. They're leaving their dogs in their houses. Authorities are finding dogs and other animals that have been left without water and food after a few weeks. When they find them, it is usually too late to save them. They're suffocating too much. That's a nice way to treat your best friend. But that's in the U.S. We Canadians, we're Canadian by the way, yeah. We live in Canada. Yay! We Canadians aren't much better. A few weeks ago, a story in Montreal was all over the news. It happened in January, when a man lost his kitten. It ran away when he opened the door. It had no collar. He put posters everywhere. A few blocks down, a lady found that little kitten. She kept it for a week, and then realized that her husband was allergic to cats. In Montreal, you have the SPCA that covers the west part, and the Belgique Blanc, which covers the east part. She called the Belgique Blanc, and they told her that they would take good care of the kitten. She wanted to make sure before she brought him brought him in there. Otherwise, she would have tried to find a home for it. The day that she left the kitten at the shelter, on her way back, she saw the posters. She called the owner of the cat and explained what she had just done. The man drove to the animal shelter right away, and they told him that they didn't have a cat. He called the lady, and she told him it was impossible. She had just left him there. Wow. They threatened that they would call the journalists. Finally, the owner of the shelter one of the owners of the shelter told the man that his cat had been put down. The lady that brought the cat was so furious that she called some journalists. They went undercover to film what was going on in the shelter. After 3 months, they showed on the news what is going on in that shelter. The pictures were horrifying. When they confronted the owner and showed them the pictures, the owner said that it couldn't be happening in his company. The Belgian plant is privately owned. When a dog has to be put down, it is usually a vet or a technician that does that, so that the animal can die in a peaceful way. In that shelter, it was a guy that they had hired. He had barely any education and no training. He could have been the janitor of the place, and it wouldn't have changed a thing. Some of the cats and dogs weren't even dead when they put them in the trash. I'll spare you the details because it makes me so mad and it's just too sad. The only thing we can do now for those poor animals is to sign the petition that the lady had started. By the way, if you want to sign the petition, just leave a comment below and then we'll write down in the comments and in the description later on once we find the name of the petition, because we already signed it but we forget the name. And we'll write that down and we'll put it up so you guys can see it. We'll reply to you when it's up if you write a comment below. Okay? Okay. But there is hope. If people want to put their hearts into the situation, things can turn around. In the U.S., the city of Austin in Texas saved up to 90% of their strays, while others, like Dallas, 70% of their strays are put down. They haven't gotten up to speed yet. What can we do to help our four-legged friends? We have to educate people, mostly the children. 10 years ago, people didn't recycle, and now it's a way of life. Instantly, we don't put things that can be recycled in the trash. If you teach a child that owning a dog is not like getting a new bicycle, it's a lifetime responsibility, it will change his view. When he or she is older on how to take care of a dog and not to abandon it or another pet. We have to educate people on how puppy mills, factories, contribute to the problem of overbreeding dogs to make a quick profit. We have to promote adoption and encourage anyone we know who is thinking of getting a dog to first visit some shelters to see if they can give a dog in need of a loving home. We have to educate everyone to spay and neuter their animals. And we have to promote low-cost spay and neuter programs where we live. In the long run, it costs a community for less than sheltering and putting down and abandoning dogs or cats or other animals. New dog owners have to be aware that the most common reason for dogs being abandoned is training problems, many of which could be easily resolved with the help of a personal trainer. Owning an animal shelter is not about getting rich and driving a nice car. It's about saving lives and making a difference in the life of a dog or cat. The people that get this put fewer animals to sleep. The ones that do door-to-door when they find a stray before bringing the pet to the shelter have less crowded shelters, less animals to feed. The ones that have clean shelters greet you nicely when you come in and let you see all the dogs. Have less dogs for adoption for fewer costs. If you love your pet, when you come home tonight, or check right now check if it has his or her collar, with a name tag and a phone number. If Target had been wearing a collar with her owner's contact information, or had been microchipped, she probably would still be alive. If you have a pet microchipped, that's also good. But we have 2 cats here that are microchipped, but we also have a collar. So just in case, put a collar. Yeah, well, not just in case. Just put a collar for sure. Yeah. Collar with your information on it. Like we said before, if you want to sign that petition, just comment below. And we'll tell you the name of the website. Or wherever it is. And you can save animals. So, why not comment below? Oh, and comment below what do you think about the speech. For a 6th grader, it's pretty good work, don't you think? Yeah, pretty much, I guess. I think so. Just comment below what you think about the speech. And tell us if you want to sign the petition. We'd love more people to sign the petition, so then you save animals, which is great. So sign that petition. What are you still doing just sitting there? Go type in the comments. Go! Come on. Go! Don't waste your time. So yeah, comment about it, and yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.